So recently I was in need of a primer, so I went to the drugstore and picked up this Wet n Wild Fergie eyeshadow primer, and I believe it was about $6. My first thought when I first tried this out was that it reminded me a lot of the original Urban Decay primer potion. That the color and the consistency of the primer is pretty similar to the Urban Decay primer potion. And when you rub it out, it is pretty transparent. Here's the Urban Decay primer potion. I'm actually wearing the Wet n Wild primer on my right eye, and then on my left eye I am wearing the Urban Decay primer potion. Today I'm gonna see how this wears, and I'll check in with you guys later on that, but you can see the packaging on these is quite different. This is a doe foot applicator, and the issue that they had with this packaging, I believe they fixed it now, but all the product would get stuck at the bottom of the container. So it's pretty impossible to get that out unless you cut the end off. And then with the Wet n Wild, this is a lot more convenient to use, and you're not going to get any product stuck in the bottom. As far as prices go, like I said, I believe I got this for around $5 or $6 at Walgreens, and this is obviously a sample size, but the full size Urban Decay primer potion I believe is twice as much, and I believe you get around the same amount of products with the full size, not the sample size, and this Wet n Wild one. So I'm going to go ahead and do some eyeshadow swatches on my arm, and I'm going to do the water test and all of that just to see which one holds up the best and which one really shows the color better. Alright, so here are the swatches. These are all the same eyeshadows. Here's the swatches without primer. Here's the Urban Decay primer potion. And here's the Wet n Wild. The Urban Decay and the Wet n Wild look very similar. And you can probably tell by the swatches without primer that the primer definitely does help. I'm just going to use a spray bottle and test that out. The swatches without primer have basically disappeared, and then these actually still look pretty similar. So here are the two primers. I actually kind of feel like the Wet n Wild one held up a little bit better. Now that I've finished the water test, I'm going to re-swatch my arm and we'll see how that holds out throughout the day, as well as with my eye makeup. I'll check back in later and show you guys how everything's holding up. Hey guys, it has been a few hours now. I had finished mowing the lawn and then I went ahead and took a shower. And I actually did scrub the swatches that I had on my arm. I'll go ahead and do a fresh one so you guys can see what it looks like before everything. So here's what the swatches looked like before I showered and everything. This is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. And this is the Wet n Wild Fergie. Now when I was in the shower, I did scrub these with soap and water and all of that. And I think they held up pretty much the same. And as far as my eye makeup looks exactly the same on either side. So basically with these primers, I would totally recommend that you check out this Wet n Wild Fergie one. It is pretty good. It's very comparable to the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and you'd be saving about half the price if you went with the Wet n Wild one. So give it a try and test it out for yourself. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you would like to see more like this, then please like this video and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.